You're listening to 106. The time is now 12 o'clock. Sides of the story. Linking Jamaicans in the diaspora with Jamaicans of like mind in Jamaica. Connecting the Jamaican diaspora abroad and at home. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story, highlighting the positive role of the Jamaican diaspora. Sides of the story.
Time now for both sides of the story. The story of Jamaicans at home and Jamaicans abroad on Power 106 FM. We may not take sides, but we listen to your side. Stay with us and explore the issues, present the facts, speak with the experts, and as always, listen to both sides. What's your story? Tell us on both sides of the story by calling for local numbers 876 922 411225. You can listen to both sides of the story on the Power 106 FM app via the Beatles website, pro-jamaica.com, as well as on onespotmedia.com. Plus, listeners in the USA can dial 631-359-8281 to listen. And if you're in the UK and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, you can call 0330-606-0953. You can watch both sides of the story live on the Dervan Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at both sides 106. Email both sides 106 at live.com. Send your WhatsApp voice notes, audio messages, and text messages to 876-365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Sides of the story. Both 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 sides of the story. Is power. Class is in session. Hour 106.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you have given your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they're gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. It's Monday, the 28th of October, 2024, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to both sides of the story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. We look forward to taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. We look forward to your full participation. After all, it is your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. Your questions, your concerns, your issues, whatever is on your mind, please feel free to share on Both Sides of the Story right here on Power 106 FM.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15. This is my stop on that hill.
Don't worry, sir.
Price stop is privately funded and run by the People Trade. Everything recorded here is anonymous. It's just like you're invisible. We provide cash rewards for international, journalists, or corporate. Please start the gap wherever you like. So nobody will ever find out.
All right, make the call. Crime Stop 311. Solving crime pays. Both sides of the story.
Sunday, with all of God's richest blessings.
Both sides of the story. sides of a story. Both 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 sides of a story.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5 and the text line 876-922-4112-5 or the WhatsApp number 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. So one of our listeners sharing with us, let's see, sharing with us some information on political history. And it says here, we do disagree with the notion of a particular party aligning to Republicans and another one here in Jamaica to Democrats. And the former prime minister, who was the only one aligned to a particular group in the Emancipation Proclamation, and he respected Democrats as well. So people are sharing their memory of particular political leaders in Jamaica and some of the choices and decisions they made. Somebody else says it was Carter 1977, 1980 to 1981. Manley Nemesis, Nixon, Ford, Never Interference 1972 to 1977. Democrats, Obama, Undo, Bruce, GoldenEye 2019. And then it goes on with others. Most PNP, JLP in Jamaica, USA are same Democrats, even though Democrats, CIA, GoldenEye and Bruce Democrats said, way, something is missing there. Way, sorry, I'm not making that out. And this one, between the writing and the, I'm not sure which word this is. The only other ones I can pick out is USA, bigger picture, reasons, politics, pretentious. It's just like most Americans, black Democrats, leaders. Not sure who sent this, but it's a little all over the place and in line with the callers or the messages' memory. But thank you for sharing. Nonetheless, we appreciate you and we thank you for sharing your thoughts with us here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. And we're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. That's 876-922-4112-5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And so we continue with more on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. And of significant note, on this day, the Statue of Liberty, a gift of friendship from the people of France to the people of the United States, was dedicated in New York Harbor by President Grover Cleveland. The statue weighs 225 tons and is 152 feet tall. It was originally known as Liberty Enlightening the World, an emblem of Franco-American unity. The Statue of Liberty was presented to the American people by the French and unveiled this day in 1886. So that's a piece of the history. And 1850, a major cholera epidemic was being experienced, and Baptist missionary Reverend James Filippo of Spanish Town in St. Catherine visited homes in Passage Fort to comfort the sick and pray with the relatives of people who had died. He also visited the hospital where he found more people dead. After preaching to a small congregation, he visited Cumberland Pen and Crawl Pen, where there were more deaths. At Farm Pen, the property of Lord Carrington, the dead were buried without being placed in coffins. It happened in Jamaica in 1850. So keep those calls coming in, 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. As we continue with more here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. Calvin in North York, Ontario, Canada, always in touch with us. Thank you very much. Franklin MacDonald points out that today is the 168th anniversary. Let's make sure we get it. Today is the 168th anniversary of the dedication of the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor, which we mentioned already. And he goes on to write, as you know, the statue began with a model said to be of an Egyptian black woman. But since then, understandings and interpretations have varied greatly, as described in the link I sent to you earlier, he says. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that reminder. And let's go now to Wilfred. Hello, good afternoon, Wilfred.
I'm seeing Dervan, the PNP leading by 9.1 percentage points in the reset, then on this poll, and hearing what the Prime Minister is saying, he can campaign on his issue and his performance. That's what political parties do. But the point I want to make is consistent. Well, I believe the Dunn poll was the real poll. February 26, 2024, PNP won by 5%. And the news regarding JLP's government has not been tremendously good since February to now. And the last poll, PNP was by 8%, and they up by 1%. 1 more percent now make 9%. You get what I'm saying? It's like consistent with what is going on in the country. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. So what is...
Or the Prime Minister could be questioning that when the actual poll in February showed that he lost by 5%, by 25,000 votes. I mean, I'm a person, like I said, a scientific, and I like actual poll. You can't beat the actual numbers in nothing.
Yes.
That 5% is the standard, that showed me that Dan's poll is correct or near correct. Because the actual poll has actual science. And then there's
remember the polls. The polls have a plus or minus.
Determined by laws. And the law in Jamaica. I read local law and I read things before I talk about things, And I've been saying it from February 27th. PNP won the election. The elections are won, the raw percent are determined by the amount of seats, which is constituencies or division in the general and local elections, because parishes are not equal quantities. Some parishes only have 2 constituencies.
Hold a moment, please. Hold on, please. We need to take a break.
And I think Killarney and Hanover. Kingston have about 20 constituencies. There are probably 18 to be exact. St. Catherine have a lot of constituencies too, about 14, St. Anna 4, Manchester 4. You know what I'm saying? Just like you say, electoral votes and things like that. California have a lot of population. They have United Nations, Nevada, Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? Because for consequences only, lawmakers, the law that determines that identify or general guarantee. So ignorant that the source of any information and the law which means they're reputable for having knowledge in the particular area. Determined by parishes for accuracy against other sources of information. By one stay tuned to Power 106 FM. Learn more about the importance of relying on credible sources for information in today's media and information landscape to decrease misinformation and disinformation. 100% of what, right?
It's a Monday afternoon, just after 2:30. So you know what that means. Time for Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are welcomed. The numbers to call 876-922-4112 for any matter in relation to land issues, anything to do with the sale or purchase of land. You've come to the right place. Here are the numbers once again, 876-922-4112-5. That's 876-922-4112-5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And let's turn you over at this time to your host on today's edition of Land Solutions, attorney at law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to Land Solution. If you have any questions, buying land, about buying land, selling land, getting a title for your land, any land-related matters, give me a call because we know how important the land is for the fabric of our very existence. We know the importance of land, and sometimes land in Jamaica, land has become too important that we are committed serious acts against our brothers and sisters who are in the name of land. And as the older generation will tell you, quoted from the Bible, that we're going nothing into this world and this person will take nothing away. So it doesn't be killing our one another over land. And I know I'm saying like that. I've heard about that. He said that you that is not to be. And that is one of the reasons why we are encouraging the older generation, the younger ones, to put some experience and sort out the land, sort out what you have, what you own, and leave some certainty behind. Because sometimes the problems arise not because of the need, not the problems are caused not by the need, but the treaty. And sometimes we have a lot of conflict in the family because our relatives refuse to sort out the matters. Too many of us have the mindset to say we did not get it sorted out. We got it in our years that we thought in confusion and we are going to leave the same confusion behind. So I'm encouraged by to sort out the land situation is what Talita and I have been preaching to you over the years and begging you to let us sort out. The land matter, let us create the will, let us do the estates and let us transfer it to the children, etc. So you can send me a text message in anything land related, send a text message to 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. And remember that we have an office in Houston and an office in Montreal. You can just give me a call or send me a text message to 876-387-3183 and I'll gladly assist. Someone sent me a text message that the person resides overseas and raised a number of issues in relation to land ownership. And it was a little bit concerning because this person bought a piece of property, had an attorney, the other party had an attorney. The person bought the property, paid premium money for it, and now the person is having a number of problems. Firstly, having bought the property, paid their money, etc., they have now gone, there's a grave in the middle of the property. There's somebody living at the back of the property who has erected a house on the property some years now. And there's a church that is encroaching on quite a bit of the property. There's a principle in law that says caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. And put it in Jamaica and ordinary Jamaican parlance. Don't buy put in bag. That's what all these fancy things. We have an answer for everything, Because when I asked this person, didn't you get a surveyor's identification report? No, nothing was done. Even when my clients, I insist on my clients, when I'm representing the person, I insist that they do a valuation and they do a survey.
Even when they might say, Miss Brown, I'm satisfied with the price I'm buying for, I still encourage the valuation. If they don't want to do the valuation and they say I'm not doing it fine, but they have to write to me and tell me they're not doing a survey. I insist on a survey. And if the client says I'm not doing a survey, they have to write to me a letter signed by in the presence of a judge of the case to say I was advised by my attorney Gloria Brown that I should do a survey, but I'm refusing. Because if this person had just got a surveyor's report, it would have shown the grave, it would have shown that a church is on the front of the property. And it would have shown that somebody is occupying the back of the property. And the person is asking what can they do to get out of it. Very little you can do, because as I asked the person to send me a copy of the agreement, I haven't got it yet. But I'm sure when you read that agreement, it is saying that the purchaser is advised to get a surveyor's identification report. But a lot of times we are penny wise and pound foolish. I hear clients say I'm not going to waste my money, Miss Brown, to go and do a valuation. You might do the valuation and spend 40,000 on it and find that the property is worth $1 million more. So I'm encouraging my listeners, please, before you even sign the agreement, before you buy anything, sign anything, make sure that you get a surveyor's report and you get a valuation report. And so many times as well, clients are contacting me, Miss Brown, I'm buying a property, but I have already signed the agreement for sale. I've paid the deposit already and I want you to represent me now. Please let me represent you before you sign. Because I would advise you about certain things. There are some things in the agreement that I might not like, but I would make sure I'm not encouraging you to sign. So that's one of the things I want to point out to us this afternoon. The numbers to call, if you want to speak to me on here now, is 922-411-224. 922-411-224. And the text line or the WhatsApp line, you want to send me a message, it's 387-3183. 387-3183. That's 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183 is the number that you can send me a WhatsApp message on. And remember, if you want me to get a title for you, you have your property, but you don't have a title, and you want me to assist you in getting a title, then just text the word title. That's all you have to text. Just text the word title to 387-3183. 387-3183. Just text the word title, and I'll gladly assist you in getting a title for your property, because that's what we are encouraging more than anything else. That's what clients make every effort to own, to get a title. Because when you have a title, you have something that cannot be defeated by the average person. For somebody to question your ownership, question your title, they would have to show that you committed fraud. Before they can question, before they can take the matter successfully, get your title cancelled. They have to show that you got the land by fraud and therefore you got the title by fraud. Otherwise, they just have to leave you alone.
So here's a message, Ms. Brown. Good day, Lawyer Brown. Can someone else act on behalf of an executor of a will after the testator has passed? That's first question. Next question, how, or just simply how? And then the third question, what obtained in 2008 versus now? From Michael in Red Hills.
Thank you, Dervan, for your question. Yes, somebody can ask for the executive. For example, for the executive is abroad and I find it very convenient for the executive and not older person. The executive can give somebody a power of attorney to apply for the grant in the estate. So I'm executive of somebody, I can't find the time to deal with them, so I would give Khadija a power of attorney to act on my behalf, and the grant will be given in the name of the person who has given the power of attorney. So the grant will not come in my name, but in Khadija's name, as the person who has given the power of attorney. I'm not sure what you are talking about in relation to 2008.
A community It had, sorry, it had to do with a community on Red Hills Road.
I'm not sure if you are talking about the Special Provisions Act. That's the act. I'm not sure. So the person probably could send me a little bit more information.
Okay.
But there are some areas that have been declared under the Special Provisions Act, which was why when persons call me on the program, I would say, which parish are you in? Because there's a special law that makes titling easier and cheaper. And we'll have to see when it applies. It doesn't apply to all of Jamaica. It applies to certain areas. So
Okay.
maybe the person would clarify a little bit more.
Mhm.
Then I would be able to get some more assistance on that. But I know there's an area on Red Hills Road. There is Lawrence Tavern, Red Rock Hall, Golden Spring. Some of those areas apply. The law applies to those areas in St. Andrew. But most of the other parishes, the law applies fully to the parishes, but not to all of Kingston and St. Andrew. So maybe that is what he's speaking to. Thank you, Dervan.
Okay.
So the number to call 922-411-325. 922-411-3. Sorry, 922-411-224. And the text line you want to ask me a question, you want to send me a text message, the text line is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. So the term I used a while ago is caveat emptor, means let the buyer beware. So you're buying something, not just land or house or whatever. It's saying that you, the buyer, must do some due diligence. You must be aware of what you're buying. Make sure that what you're buying is what is being sold. Because I have so many problems in my office where persons have bought properties without lawyers especially. And now you realize that the line for the property is wrong. The neighbor is occupying a portion of the property, or you are occupying a portion of the neighbor's property. You want to borrow some money, and you're not able to borrow because there's a breach. And most banks will not allow you to borrow money in such a situation. They're going to want you to sort out the matter first. And it's expensive sometimes to sort out. So always get your surveyor's identification report before you sign the agreement. And that's what I was talking about earlier as well. That a lot of times when the clients come to us, they have already signed the agreement and that is binding. I can't get them out of it when they are saying, Ms. Brown, I signed an agreement to buy the property for 15 million and I've done a valuation, it's valued at 10. You have to go through with the 15 million. You have to pay, and the bank is not going to lend you more than the 10 or less than 10. You can't say I'm buying it for that. The bank is going to look at the value of the property and to say what happens if you don't pay back. They are not going to allow you to borrow more than it is worth. Because if you don't pay, they need to sell it and they're not going to pay back their money. That's very, very important for us to know. Do not sign any agreement for sale until you have spoken to your lawyer, until you have done your valuation and the survey to make sure that you are buying what it's worth for what it's worth. This is Land Solutions and Gloria Brown. We're open and break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. Sammy's Shoe Store BOGO sale is now on. Get affordable footwear and accessories in the newest styles for the entire family. Visit Sammy's Premier Plaza, King Street, Boulevard Shopping Center, Sovereign Village, Portmore, and 10 Cumberland Road, Spanish Town. Sammy's BOGO sale ends November 2. Sammy's, the shoes people.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. 876 922 4112 to 5. Looking forward to your participation during the program. Just wanted you to be apprised of the numbers once again. 876 922 4112 to 5. Hello? Hi, good afternoon. This is Land Solutions, bring both sides of the story. Power 106. Is this the program you want? Okay, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon. Yes, I'm calling on behalf of a sister of mine who lives in the USA. If what she's doing is right. She was living here, but she migrated and then she divorced her husband. She's still brother and divorced. But she still comes visiting, pay people to clean the place and look about him. And she have a daughter, the daughter is with her over there. And he finally got penile and she gets somebody who taking care of him and then a brother of his came and took him and carried him to his country. He wasn't getting any care from his sister. Paid for him to stay and her sister. But when my sister comes, she stay at the home. She stay at the home where you should. Let me ask you one question. Your sister's name is on the title? Pardon me? Your sister's name is on the title? She has the title with her. Whose name is on it? Your sister's name? It's a joint tenant to the house. She has his name on it. Wonderful. All right. Go ahead. It's the both of them name on it. It's joint tenant to the house. Yes. All right. So go ahead and answer what you're asking. So she paid for him to start on her chemo. She and the daughter. And unfortunately he died last month and she couldn't come to the funeral, but she buried him because her green card was expired. The daughter didn't come, but they paid.
Please do. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what the incident is that her sister and the husband, they were joint tenants. When persons are joint tenants, it means that the survivor will get it. So that means that because the husband has died, it's going to belong to the wife alone. But she still has to make an application to note his death. So she needs to get the title and the death certificate for the husband, take it to a lawyer, and the lawyer will do an application to note death. It depends on the value of the property. The property is valued more than $20 million. She's going to have to pay death duties because it's not matrimonial home. If she was living there with a gentleman and it was their matrimonial home, she would not have to pay any death duties. The first $10 million in turn, I have a bad feedback. The first $10 million, if it's half is valued more than $10 million, she's going to have to pay on the excess. So the only way she's going to pay any debt duties is if the property is valued more than $20 million. I'm going to ask Adrian to check for me, please. Adrian, if the line is closed, there's a sound like a horn.
We're going to check on it, Miss Gloria. We're going to check on it. Thank you very much for staying with us here on Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. And this afternoon's host is Attorney at Law, Gloria Brown. Thank you. Yes, thanks. Mhm.
She did not come back to Jamaica for more than 12 years. And they were joint, she was a joint parent with Mr. Wills. When Mr. Wills died and Mrs. Wills claimed the property as a survivor, the Supreme Court said that because she had not come back to Jamaica for more than 12 years, she had abandoned her interest in the property. This lady who called and asked her sister, is the right thing? Your sister was very wise. She ensured that she kept in contact with her property. She did not abandon her interest. She kept in touch with her husband and she kept in touch with her property. So therefore, when the husband died, nobody could come forward to claim the property because she has always maintained an interest in it. And I'm saying that for those of us outside the diaspora, keep an interest in your property. You might have less relatives there, etc., etc. Maybe you're very, you're very close relatives, but keep an interest, no matter how close these relatives are to you. Keep an interest, and I say to the persons as well, don't have somebody to pay your property tax for you because they're living there. Pay it yourself. And if somebody's there, let them pay you or you pay them. So if they're there taking care of it, you pay them. If they are renting it or living there, let them pay you. And they don't have to pay you $100,000 a month. They can pay you $1 a month. Get an agreement in place. Okay, remember the old people used to talk about the peppercorn rent? Let them pay for peppercorn rent, give a few dollars, and make sure you collect it and you give them a receipt. Also, you're sending money for them to pay the taxes or for them. Don't send the money with your friend when the friend is coming up. Send it by courier where you have the evidence. Send it with by a bank draft. Have some evidence. Have the WhatsApp message saved or the email saved to say, I sent you 10,000 last week towards the land taxes or towards painting the home or towards the light bill. The court can look at your intention and look at your action to decide whether or not you have abandoned your interest in property. And if abandonment is not very hard, exercise some control over your property. Go and check on it every now and then. Go and see what is happening. Don't just walk away and pray that because you have the title abroad, everything is safe. When somebody is claiming an adverse, when you're making an adverse claim against your property, claiming adverse possession, claiming that they have been in possession undisturbed for more than 12 years, all they have to do is when they made the application and provide the proof to the title office, then the title office is going to cancel your title. They send you a notice, yes, but the notice is going to go to the address that you have on the title, and most times people have moved 10 times since that time. So don't feel protected and say, hey, I have my title in America, I am good. That title could be dead in your hands. Okay, it could be dead in your hands because maybe that title is cancelled in the title office. And you don't even realize because where you used to live in Kingston, you don't live there again, and that's where the notice would have gone to say, hey, John Brown has made a claim against your land, and we're giving you this is the amount of days to respond by lodging a caveat or authority we are going to proceed to cancel your title. It's not as difficult as you think. Okay, so your sister is correct in what she has done, listener. Just ask her to get the death certificate for her husband, and sometimes persons will say, but I can't get the death certificate because the family won't give me because it's the brother them bury him. Just you are the spouse or you used to be the spouse, you can just get somebody to go to the RGD and apply for a death certificate for you. Okay, as the spouse, or you get your lawyer, the lawyer can apply for it for you. Okay, you just have to let them know when he died, what was his date of death, or just send a copy of the program to your attorney or to one of your relatives and let them go and apply for it for you. You get one copy, the applicant and the lawyer will do an application to know the death of your husband. And the property will be yours alone. So the other relatives really have no claim in it. Okay, they would have to prove some serious things to the court. Good afternoon, Ms. Brown. What are the things I should do to start to look about a title? As I said, you want to get a title, I'm going to ask you the first thing you need to do is to survey the property. And you need to have some evidence of your ownership. You need to have some documentation in place. And I'm going to explain that to you a little bit after the break. But I want the clients, when a client comes in to me for me to do a title for them, if they have a survey diagram, then I can look to start right away. If you don't have it, you're going to have a problem. And the survey diagram, sometimes it takes a survey of 4 to 6 months to get the diagram approved in the survey department. So I need all my listeners to survey the little piece of land now. And the diagram lasts for 7 years. So you must can get a title within the 7 years. And if you have not got a title, then the surveyor can go and check the text and update that diagram for you. And it will last another 7 years. But for this listener, I'm going to ask you, just text the word title to me. So 387-3183. 876-387-3183. Just text the word title. And I will gladly assist you. But after the break, I'll tell you a little bit more. I'm Gloria Brown, and
The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play, Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to the world of sports.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Power Play. My name is Cliff Williams.
Power Play with Cliff Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to tune in to Power Play, providing invigorating sports analysis and discussion, weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Here is a financial literacy tip from your friends at Power 106 FM. Learn to budget. Once you've read a few personal finance books, you will understand 2 rules. Never let your expenses exceed your income and watch where your money goes. The best way to do this is by budgeting and creating a personal spending plan to track the money coming in and going out. Tracking expenses can provide a valuable wake-up call. Small changes in your everyday expenses are under your control and can impact your financial situation. Keeping monthly expenses like rent as low as possible can save you money over time and put you in a position to invest in your own home sooner than later.
You spoke to Lorna Lewis? Did you speak to Lorna Lewis? Okay. Because I see like there are a couple of things that are supposed to happen.
Welcome back to the Land Solution.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Sorry about that.
Yes, Dervan.
Yes,
Thank you, Dervan.
you're welcome.
So another text message. How can I figure out when someone is using or obtaining a fake title to keep me on land that I've been in possession of for over 30 years? If you have been in possession of land for over 30 years and somebody has not a title, the first thing I would advise my client is to go into the title office to see how the person got a title. Okay, that's one of the things you can do. They can go into the title office and get a copy of the person's title because it's a public document. They don't have to pay $1,000. If they don't know the title number, if they know the title number, then it's $500. You need to go get an attorney as well. Your lawyer will not just pay that. I mean, the lawyer will block the person's title. And then this will have to go to court because if you have been there, if you have been there for more than 30 years and this person got a title, then I would need to know how the person got it. Was it a transfer? Was it that the owner of the land transferred it to the person? Or is that the person did what we call an adverse possession application to say that they have been in possession? The person did an adverse possession or a possessory title. It would have been fraudulent because when you do that application, one of the things that you have to declare is to say who is in possession. And that person would not have mentioned you. So therefore, the person's title could be defeated as long as you can prove that you have been there. And this brings up another point that I continue, okay, to reinforce, is that if you have been on land for 30 years and you have not done anything about it, then I won't say the rest. Okay, so all I'm saying to persons is that as a people, we're just satisfied because, hey, I'm going to bed, I'm sleeping, I'm eating, I'm going to the bathroom. I don't need anything else until trouble comes, which is what we have been preaching on this program for over 16 years. We have been saying to persons who will not wait until trouble comes. I'm tired of putting out fires for my clients, for my listeners, because they come to you when there's a fire. Sometimes when they come into the office, I say to them, all right, just cut to the chase, tell me why you have come. Miss Brown, I went to pay the tax and somebody paid it already. Miss Brown, I went to pay the tax and the number changed. Miss Brown, I tried to survey the land and somebody stopped me. Miss Brown, I get a notice to leave and you have been there 20, 30, 40 years and your parents were there before you. I'm saying to persons, let us stop reacting. Let's go proactive now. Let us stop sitting down and waiting until trouble comes and then you come and say, Miss Brown, I came to you last year for the tithes and I don't get it yet, etc., etc. And when you come when it's more difficult because the person has got a title and it's difficult to do an application for you now to defeat that title. And you expect to get it within a day when you have been there 30, 40 years. I'm saying to persons who will not wait until the matter becomes problematic. It's cheaper, it's easier when you come to me when everything is okay. When there's no problem, there's no conflict, mama is still alive, granny is still alive. Come now and look about the little house spot that they gave you or the little house spot you have been living on. Come and deal with it now before it becomes too problematic. So I'm saying to this listener, somebody has got a fake title and I don't know if you have fake title, I don't know. The person has got a real title, you might say the person has got it fraudulently. But it's not a fake title. A lot of time we sit down and say, oh, it's fake and not doing anything about it. The person has got more than likely a legitimate title. Whether or not they got it by legitimate means is another question, but it's a real title. So you need to go and do something about it in terms of getting an application made to the court to get the person's title cancelled. And why I'm saying the person look about this thing early, because if you're looking at $500,000 or so to start a matter in the Supreme Court, you know, so the average poor Jamaican is going to lose his or her rights because you can't afford it. And that's a part of the challenge. So I'm saying to persons, you will not wait until you have a problem. All my listeners, text me the word. You don't have a title for the little piece of land that granny gave you, that mommy gave to you, that you bought, that you have been living on because you saw it empty. I've been living on it for 30 years. All I'm saying, you survey the little piece of land and text me the word title so I can assist you in getting a title for that property. Very, very important. The numbers to call, if you want to talk to me on here, 876-922-411325. 876-922-411325. And the text line, 387-3183. 387-3183 is the text line. Okay, remember, we have an office in Orchard and an office in Kingston. So you can just call the office to make an appointment. The office in Kingston, 876-908-1950. 876-908-1950. In Orchard, 876-974-6083. 974-6083 for Orchard. Okay, another text message. My grandmother, who noticed has some land that she bought from her sister. I can't find any evidence of it, but I know she has been paying the tax for many years now. The tax papers always come in her sister's name, but in view of my grandmother. Since her death, I started paying it yearly when it comes. But for several years now, I've noticed the bill stop coming to me. And someone else has been paying it, and I don't know who. I don't want to survey the land, but I have nothing to show over the years. I have occupied the land I've valued on there, and I gave permission to someone to occupy the front with a container that is been selling food on for many years now. I want to survey, but I have nothing to show how the guys work. How the surveyor? The surveyor should be able to survey without. Instead, you're paying the taxes for years. Who will survey before the tax people? Because a lot of persons feel that because they pay taxes for land, that they are the owners. So whoever is paying for it might feel that they were going to own it because they have been paying, but you are occupying it. So who would discuss it with the surveyor? The surveyor should not need any evidence more than I hope the man who is selling the food at the front that you're getting a little money from him and you have the receipts to show, etc. But go and discuss the matter with the surveyor. I don't think it's a surveyor's well. I'm not sure how the surveyors operate, but go and discuss it with a surveyor before you say they're not going to do it. Show him the old tax papers that you have. And maybe some evidence that you are related to the grandmother and ask the surveyor to survey. If you have a challenge with that, then give me a call and I will see how I can help you. I have a piece of land in Portland Cottage with etc. I have a diagram and paying the taxes I need to get a title. So I tend to tell you exactly what I want. In terms of the cost, it depends on a lot of things. How big the land is, what's the value of the property, how difficult it is to get the title for you, but you feel as if you're in a good position. But it's not something that I'll be able to tell you offhand. I'll have to look at your documentation to see what you have and then advise you accordingly. But I will send you the information. I'm glad to hear that you have a survey diagram, which means that more than likely your application can be started right away. And I've sent you the information and documentation that I would need from you in order to assist you. Okay, which is exactly what we're saying to the client. Those of you listening, just send us the information so we can assist you in getting the title for the land. And I promised someone earlier that I would tell you what I will need from you. As I said, I need the survey diagram. And I'm going to need the name, age, address, and occupation of two persons who are over 50 years old who have known the land for more than 30 years. I don't need them to write any letter signed up by JP. All I need from these persons, name, age, address, occupation. What they are to sign, we will prepare. We will prepare what they are to sign. We're going to need a history of the land, so as well, a 40-year history. You're going to tell me that my grandmother, Mary Brown, owned the land from the 1960s. She died in 1974, and her son, Peter, took over. Peter occupied it until he died in 2008. His daughter has been occupying it from that time. Give me a little history with names and with dates, and then I will prepare what needs to be signed. You need evidence as well as of your occupation. So maybe you have the old tax papers, maybe you have old light bills, old water bills, old cable bills, old telephone bills. Anything you have to support the fact that we need photographs of the property as well. That is something that is being asked for nowadays. Photographs of the property. I'm going to need those as well to show that the house that you say you have constructed that is really on it. That's the kind of documentation that we will need in order to assist you. And I I find that the applications, first time I would say to my clients, in 8 months I can get you a title. I find that it's taking years now. It is literally taking years because there is a serious problem at the survey department. I checked on an application for someone that I'm doing this morning. And what the title office told me, the application was approved. But they have been waiting on the comments from the survey. March, April, May, June, July, August, 8 months. They have been waiting on the comments from the survey department so they can give me the notice to advertise. Can you imagine? How can I tell my clients that your application was approved in February but I haven't got the notice yet? It really makes you as an attorney look incompetent and look as if you're giving a 6 for 9. And that's the problem. I have so many applications in my office that are approved because most of my applications that I lodge are approved. But I have so many that have been approved and I'm waiting on the survey department to comment on the survey that I want the title office can give me the notice. We're having a problem there in that particular department. There is a problem. And a lot of persons are complaining to me about the surveyors to say, hey, a surveyor took my money and to do my survey and then with 6 months on I can't get. And a lot of them I have to say to them, I have to sympathize with the surveyors. Because a lot of them, they have really lost your plan at survey department, but there are so many plans there. The last time I checked, last time I was told there are over 2,000 plans there to be checked, with about 2 people checking them, and more coming in on that every day. We have a problem. We have a problem at the survey department. And it's really, really slowing down the applications. I was thinking that the other day that I'm going to ask the registrar to allow me to advertise. Send me the advertisement. If something is wrong with the plan, I would take that responsibility. But at least let me advertise, because when you advertise, you still have to wait another 6 weeks. I continue that too after the break. I'm Gloria Brown, and this is Grand Solution.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Are roads a major concern? What about those drains that are in need of repair or cleaning? Who's responsible for repairing my road, and when will it be done? Join us this and every Tuesday morning at 8 during Morning Agenda as we travel on our roads with the National Works Agency and get answers to these and other concerns. You're welcome to visit their website at www.nwa.gov.jm. See the tender notices link for projects to be undertaken. You may also call them toll-free at 1-888-429-5NWA. That's 1-888-429-5692. Or follow them on Twitter at NWA_JA and Facebook at www.facebook.com/NWA Jamaica. The National Works Agency, developing safe, reliable, and quality roads.
How much do you know about spices and the impact they have on your everyday life? Join us every first and third Thursday during Farm Talk with Althea McKenzie at 6:18 a.m. for Spice Up Jamaica. We'll give you tips, tidbits, and interviews about the revitalization and sustainability of the Jamaican spices, including ginger, turmeric, and pimento. That's Spice Up Jamaica every first and third Thursday at 6:18 a.m. during Farm Talk with Althea McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM. Spice Up Jamaica is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture Food for Purpose Jamaica Spices Project.
Before? Oh, thank you so much for staying with us here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM, with our regular Land Solutions feature, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. The numbers to call, 876-922-4113 to 5. 876-922-4113-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. And we're going to hand you over once again to Attorney at Law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Welcome back to Land Solution. Please remember the number 492-411-325. And the text line, text me with any concern you may have. The text line is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. Yes, so I was saying earlier that there's a serious problem in terms of the pile of the survey department. And what happens is that after the application is approved, the survey department has to send back comment on the survey diagram where the types of the business should be noted. When you get the notice, you're asked to advertise. Most times you're asked to advertise once per week, but 2 consecutive weeks. And then you have to wait 6 weeks after the first advertisement if anybody will okay before the types of people start preparing the title. Usually the type preparation will take 6 weeks. I find that it's taking much longer than 2 weeks. We're looking at a 12-week period after you have got the advertisement. The advertising, you have to wait 6 weeks. Then you send the ad to the type office and pay a final fee. And then they will give you prepare the type. That is taking longer. So it's taking you months to get the advertisement, even after the referees have approved. So there is a problem. There is a problem. So I'm not sure what the NLA is doing. I know that they have a lot doing that. They have been doing a good job. The type of it has been doing a good job. I must say that I'm getting responses to most of I have some problematic things there that I'm not getting back anything, but I've been getting responses to most of what I have put in. I don't have that too serious. But I think the biggest problem is what is happening at the survey department. And the reality is that the survey department, a lot of the surveyors find it more lucrative to go into private practice and to work out of that department. So that's another part of the challenge as well. They find it much more lucrative to go into the private practice than to work in the survey department. So manpower shortage is a problem as well. And for you to work in a department like that, you can't just jump out of university and jump in. Something that comes with years of experience. So a lot of the technicians, a lot of the persons who don't even have the academic qualification, but who have been working there for long, they have the expertise. A lot of them, I'm told, have retired. So that's a part of the challenge that is there. So listeners, these days when persons ask me how long the type is going to take, I'm going to literally have to be telling them 3 years. When I could tell them some years ago before COVID, I could tell them 8 months to a year. Now I have to be telling them 3 years because I don't want to look like a liar. So we have a problem there. We have a problem. The number to call 922-411-325 and the text line is 876-387-3183. My mother and father's names are on the title. My mother died in 1999. I started living there from 2001. I'm living there from that time until now. My father was living in England. I was there 2019. He died 2021. He tells my sister that where I'm living is mine. And the next piece is hers. My sister signed in front of JP. And she has no interest in where I'm living. So how can I go about to get the title in my name? I wonder if your father had remarried, because I need to know when you built your house. Because that might help me a lot. If you could just tell me when you built your house. This is the same person who had texted me the message. How do I need to go to look about, to know how to go about looking about a title? So this person would tell me when you went to live at your piece, because I'm looking at 2 options. If you have built your house, if you have a house on it and you have occupied your piece for more than 12 years, I might go adverse possession. Or if your father didn't remarry and he's a single man, then you could apply to administer his estate, and then you could share it for you and your sibling who got the other part. So I look at both, and I want to see what your sister signed in front of the JP, and if you signed anything in front of the JP as well. So you probably need to give me a little bit more information so I can see how best to help you. So I'm encouraging the listeners to please survey your properties. And let us try to get the title. You don't have a title, just text me one word, title. That's all. You don't have to say good afternoon, Miss Brown, how are you? Just text me one single word, title. And I will gladly assist you in getting a title for your property. The number is to call 922-411-325, 922-411-325. The text line is 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. And remember, I started with the program by encouraging my listeners not please to buy land without doing your due diligence. Make sure that the person who is selling it is the owner. Not because daddy died and I buried, that does not make me the owner of the property. It belongs to all of daddy's children along with his wife, who is to get a half if he doesn't make a will. And the children must get the other half. Remember, that's how it is shared. When a person doesn't make a will, you're supposed to get a half of what you die leaving, and your children get the other half. If you only have one child, the spouse gets 2/3, and the child gets the other third. That's what happens when you don't make a will. So I'm encouraging my listeners to make the will, so that what you want to happen will happen. Remember that we have an office, Brown Finlay and Company, that's Dora Brown, Felicia Finlay. That we have an office in Kingston in Winchester Business Center, Suite 39, and also in Shop 6, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho St. Anne, and anything land related to provide the will to administer the estate or anything like that. We will gladly assist you. Anything land related, we will gladly assist you. And you can call our office in Kingston, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3180. Or the Ocean's office, 876-974-6083. Our aim is to make sure that everybody has a title. Because remember, we cannot achieve our 2030. The 2030 goal of being a first world country when the landholding is such a mess. Because I've spoken about this book all the time on this program, Fernando de Soto's book, The Mystery of Capital. Why capitalism thrives in the West but fails everywhere else. And what de Soto is saying, why capitalism is so successful in all of these first world countries, is because of how their land ownership is properly documented and properly sorted. So persons are able to access credit. Just walk into the bank because you have a title, you can get money to borrow. Or into a financial institution, you can get money to borrow. You can go to housing trust and get a build on own land, a home improvement land because you have a title. In America, this is what you're saying. Most persons who have started a small business, they have used their housing. They hold their title for their homes as the collateral to start a business. You notice that when you look at some of the manifesto for like the Democratic Party in America, they are saying they are going to give us $25,000 as a deposit on houses, as well as I think $50,000 credit to start small business. The two are related because you can use that title for that house to access credit to help with the business. But the Soto said in the third world, and in particular at Haiti, and it's not different in Jamaica. And I saw something from Barbados the other day. They were talking about the very same thing. We have the assets. We have the nice houses, but where's the documentation? And that's what the Soto is saying. Houses built on land without any documentation. I spoke about this on the radio. That a lady came to me wanting me to get a title for her some time ago. And I said to her, what documentation she had for the land. She said, everybody else was going to build and land was there, so she built too. When she brought the valuation, the house she had on the piece of land was valued $50 million. And she had no documentation. Everybody was building, and a lot of times persons come and say, Miss Brown, I want to build. You can tell me if I should build And when I say no, they say, but Miss Brown, everybody feel you want me because you don't want me to be a part of the action. You know? Well, as I started the program by saying, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware, but also let the squatter beware. Okay, don't go and put your expensive structure, spend all your money on property that you have no proper documentation to support. Be very, very, very careful. If Mama give you the piece of land, don't put anything on it until you have a title for that little piece because Mama might just change tomorrow, especially if your house is bigger than Mama own. I've seen it. I see it too often in my office. Anybody who gives you a piece of land, anybody who gives you a piece of land, do not do anything on it until you have a title saying Gloria Brown registered owner. Okay, I beg of you. Okay. And the person saying at the start, I never got married, mother. This is what I'm going to ask you to do. Oh, you're living in your mother's house in the 70th. I think this person who is sending me this text message, I'm going to have to talk to you a little later on. What am I saying to my listeners this afternoon? I'm saying to all of you, find a surveyor. And please look in the directory also. And don't let somebody come and tell you that I'm a surveyor. A lot of persons surveying lands that are not surveyors. Look at when you get the name of the person, look for them in the directory. Go online because you have a list of surveyors. They are all listed there. Okay, if you go to the Surveyors Association of Jamaica, you see all of them listed with their names and their phone numbers. Make sure whoever is surveying. And remember, I said, there is a time to the surveyor when they tell you the plan not ready yet, or they tell the survey department that sent it back to them 4, 5, 6 times, because that's a part of the reality as well. They'll always send it back to say, go and compare to see the part of that, go and do that, go and do that. Okay, so don't forward someone to the surveyor. But I'm begging you, my listeners, get a title, make a will. Get a title, make a will. If there's anything else I can summarize my program for the last 16 years, if I should have to summarize it in one sentence, it is get a title, make a will. Those are the two things I'm saying to my listeners. I want to take the time to thank Adrian, Reed, and thank Dervan, and thank you, my listeners, for your constant support of Land Solutions. I'm Gloria Brown. Have a good afternoon.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs-controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:30.
Join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play, Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to the world of sports.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Power Play. My name is Kip Williams.
Power Play with Cliff Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to tune in to Power Play, providing invigorating sports analysis and discussion, weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106. Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Yes, both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Hello, good afternoon.
Both sides of the story.
Sure. Just organize your thoughts and whatever else, and let me know when you're ready. But that you said time is going because we have to be on live at the same time. No, as I'm talking, so I can hold a long conversation now because I'm still on it.
Both sides of the story.
Whenever you're ready.
Both
Sure.
sides of the story.
All right. Well, now I'm gonna have to have a long conversation with you because it looks as if it's gonna take a little time for you. Are you there? All right. I really shouldn't do this because I'm still on the radio. So let me just deal with what's happening now, and then I can call you back or you call me back. Okay. All right. I can't give you the time now. But I have to go back on. That's a big thing. All right. Sorry about that.
Both sides of the story.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. The text line, the same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. And taking your calls on the regular lines, 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. So let's see if we have messages to clear. This one we'll have to pass on to Miss Brown. In the meantime, we go to another of the messages. Sylvia from Canada sends us a message saying, "Good evening, sir. Why are you letting this man taking so much rubbish for so long? I was listening to the radio on Friday, and you let one person talk for almost 2 hours to no text, nothing. Good evening." Well, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your message. We'll bear that in mind. And this message from Sylvia in Canada. Thank you for connecting. Rohan Johnson of Atlas Ocheria says, "I'm encouraging all drivers to drive extra carefully and on the nation's roads and to look out for each other." Coming from Little Talia Johnson and Rohan Johnson from Atlas Ocherios, clocking in. And this one, well, missed the opportunity of the live message, but for what it's worth, it reads as follows: "My grand uncle owned the land for over 25 years, and after his death, The property was taken over by my father. After his death in 1997, I took it over. My father sold roughly 2 squares to 4 persons. The title is still in my granduncle's name. I have gone the route of getting 2 persons over 60 signing to say they know the land and the history. How do I get a title? Just recently, one of the so called purchasers has had her price surveyed. Okay, we'll forward. We'll see if we can forward your message. Let's see. Let's go to this one here. And see if that helps. Please let us know. And Franklin MacDonald is sharing with us the memory of the Jamaica's 1851 cholera outbreak. Thanks as usual for the reminders, Mr. MacDonald. All the very best. And let's see. We have an interview scheduled. Ms. Kishana Pinnock, blood donor organizer, will be speaking with us on these matters. And we're going to, oh, well, they're not quite ready for us yet, if at all. So let's see. In the meantime, though, the lines are open, 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. So let's see who else is messaging us here on both sides of the story. Paro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And let's go down the line. Peace, not price. Okay. And let's go down here and see if there are others waiting to connect. So in the meantime, you can send those messages, 876-922-4112-5. Frank Lawrence says, greetings, my brother. You are our esteemed teacher. It is interesting that the National Research Council will be hosting a conference regarding the possible use of nuclear energy. There's also concern about the provision of the limited research and other uses of this type of energy already going at present. Did you mean growing in this instance, already growing at present? In the 1970s, when there was a lot of discussion on this topic, I wrote an article in the Daily Gleaner, see Gleaner Archives. I wrote an article on the pros and cons of this double-edged sword of energy technology. My concern about nuclear waste management and disposal, as well as the fear of natural disasters and other man made accidents leading to disasters seem to be still in the discussion stages. The threat from improper waste management and disposal practices to the living as well as non living environment should be the primary topic of discussion as we continue to explore this source of energy. The problems we now face regarding domestic, commercial, sewage, industrial, plastic, and many other types of waste are indicators that should help to guide the positive impacts and outcomes of all discussions. And he goes on to say, I'm not a Luddite or a prophet of gloom and doom, but we can use the past and present experiences to read the handwriting on the wall. I have great respect for the work the National Research Council has been doing. From Reverend Dr. Frank Lawrence, Free Villager. Thank you very much for sharing that message with us. Hello to Carol Boyth, still doing what she does best. We wish her well. And there's someone took a picture of the Mandeville Weekly, and it speaks. This is yes, it's current. Mandeville Hospital gets 23 million Jamaican dollars in medical equipment to enhance services. Let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. Give love, give blood. The Ministry of Health and Wellness, in collaboration with the National Blood Transfusion Service and the Kingston Public Hospital, is inviting you to lend a helping hand and donate blood on Wednesday, October 30 at the Church Teachers College in Mandeville, and on Friday, November 8 at the Independence Park, Hendon Circle in Lamar, Westmoreland. Don't forget to bring your government ID and let your generosity shine. Remember, blood is life-giving and life-saving.
the Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McNaghan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McNaghan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're free. You're free.
Why? Because the same person who he fights against would be honoring him, and I don't use it like that. And the same person who ensure that this person keep the people in squalor and poverty and creating themselves. And every man you say he would have from a church because we know that the preacher, some of the preachers is lying, which is true, right? So I don't, Bob Marley would appreciate a national hero from no government at all. Because Bob Marley never let a politician do it a favor because they would want to own the for life. So I don't think he would agree. But when it comes to Miss Lou, I think Miss Lou would, I think Miss Lou would fit that national hero. I think, you understand? That was Bob Marley would I think bonfire for Babylon 16 inequality and the squalor where poor people live under. Understand? Because we look at a politician who own a area of his party here.
Own an area?
Choose water and burn type of life those people live. Right? And the politician who them put hands up. Having millions upon millions upon millions getting richer and richer, and the people who put in there getting poorer and poorer. So I don't think somebody would have really do that. But Miss Lou, it could go for Miss Lou, you know.
Why do you choose Miss Lou? Why do you choose Miss Lou?
Well, Miss Lou, them more ordinary, that is a left first. Miss Lou, Miss Lou now. Miss Lou, you know, especially like in England and in some of the European countries, none of these government ministers. So people don't know them as much as they know Miss Lou. And that's that. When we got England, I was Miss Lou from to ask. Everywhere speak and father over England and some people watch she perform. Right? And anyone as prime minister, they are England and ask who is the prime minister for Jamaica. And that's how English people don't even know. Some Miss Lou is not knowing that from politicians that even big people. So I think she would be the one to get that she defend the fatwa where the officials and the housekeeping hiding rubbish and so she was going with fatwa between and that's about when she really started the time when fatwa 6 hours of music it come out of the African language. Right, so when the English start to feed English into our forefathers, is the fatwa promoting there. You understand them? So I think we should be the first of our national for the hero, but that's not my.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So you can do a talking for about England. You remember?
Talking about England?
Yes, I know England looking for whatever.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, I think England is going down.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? If you from England, come out of the European Union and found Brexit, England is suffering hard and hard because they're put on a biggest mistake England made when they come out of the European Union. Because they don't want to be cornerstone in the European Union and they come out and make the Brexit and then put themselves in the Brexit. Everything should be like England. Right? Because we live in England, we have to be as well. Even my friend who lives in England right now. The man come back, so like we have these high bills out here and every them on top of high bills, high energy costs, everything I go up. You know, so England is on the down, we not big trouble. And when you come to the fraudulent and money, people talking about. England is not giving no fraudulent money. Right, because it's not the money. I remember when Tony Blair come here a couple years ago and him asked money to party and money. Remember him said, you must forget his heart and think of the future.
And move on. Forget and move on.
Right. So, it's about the hard and thing to read. We party and money come from British state. You can America. And make sure that it's hard now when you come to giving, to give back. So I don't think that works so easy, So what do you think?
Yes, you're onto something.
Yes. So, and the thing again, so, when I look at, we don't know government right now where could I get the children that should come under the repatriation money. I don't know. So right now we could have put that money in them hands and they will just put in them party, in them family party, in them family party. And the big son of who we get nothing that sense.
Yeah, but it anybody who tried to disburse funds in that way would be making a big mistake.
That money is ever paid whatever time coming forward. That money will be put in a special bank theory. No one, no two, no shadow of person can never die. You have to take majority from the people. I don't know how that's going to run.
Yes.
Yeah, so the car again, in that actually to be good and work. That's good, you know.
Yes.
The part of the game, man. We don't do all the car than the mechanic car, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for the call this afternoon, though.
Yeah, man.
All right. Take care. There's more. All right. Let's take another caller. Hello. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello. Oh, that person got tired of holding, perhaps. Never mind. Sorry about that. Let's see what we have here. Somebody sent us a message. Who is this now? Saying, morbid Halloween images depicting murder and decaying, walking dead bodies are not part of locally accepted mores, nor is it an African retention of any sort. It therefore should not be pushed in the faces of paying patrons, 2-year-old babies and all, at our only national zoo, a public entity. So there is a concern being raised with respect to Halloween, or to put it as the writer puts it, morbid Halloween. And you would think Halloween in some instances is already quite morbid, isn't it? Let's go to the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon. Fine, thanks. How are you? That's good to know. Mm-hmm. That's serious. That sounds serious. Oh.
and that not one about it, you know, that like you investigate the money that you need. That's the one that you come and give you the money what you need and start and things. But after the year we're done, not one, you know, some of the like know what's going on, you know, Mr. Mark.
Sounds like it's cause for a very special audit.
Well, that's how I like to do it, you know, that's the one that needs the money, because every time I post them, we end up on broke, you know. And the next thing you know, Mr. Malcolm,
Yes.
happy business, you know, man. The man they must stop getting to the coffee, you know. Because you can't get over $80,000 for your back the coffee when you don't do it for about $10,000.
Sorry, just a moment, please. One moment.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4:01. Here is a financial literacy tip from your friends at Power 106 FM. Record your expenses. The first step to start saving money is figuring out how much you spend. Keep track of all your expenses. That means every coffee, household item, and cash tip, as well as regular monthly bills. Record your expenses however it's easiest for you. A pencil and paper, a simple spreadsheet, or a free online spending tracker or app. Once you have your data, organize the numbers by categories such as gas, groceries, and mortgage, and total.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Good afternoon to Chanel Brown and Colleen Smith. We see you. Thank you for connecting. Good afternoon. And let's see if there's anybody else. Yes. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida says, can't hear Miss Brown. That was earlier on. Sorry about that. Jeannie Chambers, good afternoon to you as well. Valerie Weller Peck, good afternoon. And Travis, Travis, it's been a while. Travis the Gifted Hansen in, I think it's South Carolina. That's where he is. He's popping in and out online here. It's been a while. A lot is happening around the world in which we all are aware, he says. Uh, so I won't divulge much. Big up everyone. Phoenix, Arizona. All right. Thanks for connecting. Travis, the Gifted Hansen. Valerie Weller Peck, good afternoon. And Jeannie Chambers, as we said, also on the line. And we're still taking your calls. The lines are open, 876 922 4112-5. James in East London says, blessings, Sir Malcolm, blessings to everyone listening to the radio. Thank you. James in East London. Franklin MacDonald has taken us back to 2014. None But Ourselves, Jamaica Observer. And the story had to do with Bob Marley. Let's see. So the debate that has been raging here in Jamaica in recent times is what has gone on before. Maybe the people are different, but it's the same discussion. None but ourselves. It was Marcus Garvey who said we must emancipate ourselves from mental slavery because while others can free the body, none but ourselves can free the mind. Okay. Okay. So let's go back to Michael in the meantime. Michael, good afternoon.
In buy me this bank factory and buy out something because it come right down to $3,000 box, Mr. Malcolm. And since 2016, over 80% of the Blue Mountain got paid out, Mr. Malcolm. All because of low payment. When you take out the box of coffee, when you process, you get 8 pounds. And when
You get what? 8 what? Okay.
When you check and stuff, when getting over $80,000 for a box of coffee, and when they look for an house right now, them start the crop with $8,000 and them come at $10,000. To get back the Blue Mountain coffee in a real thing, a real position like Roger Clark and Norman Grant deal it up, along with Percy Bradley and Mr. Thiago. Then I have to give $25,000 back to the coffee. And plus, Mr. Thiago come up here in the 80s and Percy Bradley, Then time Mr. Bradley go to Minister of Agriculture. Time someone call Mr. Bradley, call him first. Percy Bradley and Mr. Thiago, They moved a bank up here, the Nails Bank, QC Bank, and all the current and money business and Mr. Shah know about all in Colabis come and close the bank. And since Mr. MCE man coming at the year, close down the Nails Bank, QC Bank. And it helped put me in a coffee business and several other ones, And it was, them time I was in at the 80s, and when them come down, them close it down. So no money no just to run agriculture. Even them youth here now, the wasteland where them have, the youth that them start give them reason and say, and in my idea, them 2 acres, them start me and couple money. Right now, the start the youth them are with a 2 acre and 5 acres to the amount of land where they up here. Now, man, Grant could have supervised it by know all about the PC bank. Because when more young you can think, in the PC bank, and thinking of the PC bank. So, without them bring back the PC bank and put the cost is $25,000. This is where I was. This is Mr. Malcolm. I play them, I play and kill out the coffee. Our coffee is the number one in the world, Mr. Malcolm. And the number one thing it come like this. The thing Ben scam like a throwback. Mr. Malcolm have a good evening, and greet up all the listeners, Portmore, all those man, big them up, Mr. Malcolm. Have a good evening, and thanks for having me, sir.
All right. Thanks for the call. Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. To the phone lines once again. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon. Gonna have to help us with the volume though.
Okay, thanks, you know. Here, mad vibe. Once more. So what go on the family?
I am fine, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, me they are observe, you know, what go on amongst us as black people in Jamaica and the world, you know.
What have you noticed, having been observing?
That prominent people here in Jamaica and society, you know, who is 100 of them who signed petition, you know, to the Governor General or in charge, in other words, reparation and asking for apology from the King of Jamaica. You know? Jamaica reparation going to the church and all of it, you know, and people who work in government. They must ask reparation and apology from British crown, you know, in charge. And him say, him not in a reparation and him not apologize. The more we know how the people them sign these petitions, so silent, you know, reparation count, CARICOM reparation count and all of it. And all Commonwealth leader. You know, to say the man no respect I and I, the black world of people. The Mungo still that slave type of man could have commit a crime like this against humanity. And him say not apologizing to you. Yeah? And we they are like we are idiots, just sit down so. What I insult him do in the black world, in not no reparation. And up to now, that people in the Caribbean are in the diaspora. It's evident here, say, through slavery, make we there, make we born here. So we catch the bread and this here. You know, see it? So we call it upon our black sons and daughters in Jamaica and the world to take down the British symbol, you know, and banners from amongst us, you know, that them don't mean us no good, you know. Them don't recognize us as human beings, them that shows an apology. You know, see, although we tell Jamaica government and CARICOM reparation, say, no reparation in Jamaica. Repatriation first. Repatriation first. I want to reach over Africa to take reparation in Africa, you know, and set up ourselves in Africa. Not in Jamaica, America backyard. As the elder Virgin just tell it while saying, you know, just none of them have government can hand. Me have to hold a joy. I said, that me I say my Virgin. When I go to Africa, we take reparation. You know? So here back in Jamaica, these two political parties from Charles government, I want to hear none of them say nothing. You know? But King Charles say, you know, because they work with him, you know, he execute his powers, especially the line Prime Minister Andrew Holness in Jamaica. The whole of them, how we as black people to be educated, just make these two political parties have grown like a puppet in this judgment after Gambia and Rastafari come. You know? Where we stand up in the strength and pride of African sovereignty, black pride, unity amongst ourselves, you know, as a nation of people. Eh? And what happened to it? No one no care for me, no one to go down, go put slavery out and work out with cheap paper. And when we get too long time, we say, we reach arms out and the light of fire we do. Eh? But we can't take a stack ourselves. What kind of piece of freshness is this? You know? Every day we're not going to parliament for people with the bench.
Charles Clinton sent a message saying King Charles didn't say any such thing.
I don't know where it comes from. Man, them say them not pay no reparation. I carry come say that government say they have been so much more Yahweh one. You know? The man disrespect. The man informed Prime Minister. So them not come to talk about the reparation. Them come in here, the advance Commonwealth interest, economy. Them not talk about CARICOM leaders who are come talk about reparation. Them no want that because them not seeing it. So we don't know where it come from. And we are living in information here. Anyway, that is that. My honorable people, we need to take a stock of it. You know? Because King Charles controls Jamaica. King Charles rules Jamaica, King government. Everything from the church and the state. Time at the head of the church in Jamaica. When them say, defend of the faith, the Anglican church, and our churches, that all of them and Catholic mixed up together, you know. So I just hear colonialism and imperialism. We have, why we can't break free? When we have to break the colonial cell, as Mary has quote Marcus Garvey, none but ourselves can free our mind, born free, feel free, live free. That we need to do, you know, a free world. You know? All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights, you know, so we are defending our black dignity.
One moment, please. We need to take a break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 4:15. October 24 to 31 is being observed as the United Nations Global Media and Information Literacy Week. The week highlights the importance of equipping people with critical thinking skills in today's digital ecosystem to discern or identify reliable content. Keys to identifying reliable content include ensuring that the source of any information is authoritative, which means they're reputable for having knowledge in the particular area. Also check for accuracy against other sources of information. Stay tuned to Power 106 FM to learn more about the importance of relying on credible sources for information in today's media and information landscape to decrease misinformation and disinformation. Both sides of the story.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Michael, are you still there? Oh, Lloyd. Lloyd is the one. Good afternoon, Lloyd. Your sound is coming in faintly. Mm. When did that happen?
But things that we see in our church, you know, them are show him and him have forgiveness. Then commit sin against the people, the nation, you know. So the man say, though your sin is red as crimson, it shall be pure and clean. You know, so if you want to be pure and be clean, or if you want pardon, or if you want save, you know, turn to Gabby and Rastafari, you know, the strength and pride of an African sovereignty. That Jesus near you call upon, and Jesus can save you in this judgment. That Jesus slavery, you know, King Charles and Pope, you know, them say them are Jesus, you know, they are the Christian church, you know. So make we to ourselves and know ourselves, you know. And we have to put a party us, you know, we take side with the British and American and all of them, and France and the whole of them are enslaved, you know, people, you know, see? So we know the history and prophecy what we are talking about, you know, world history, you know, and yet still, we know, form alliance with King Charles and organization of American state to hold you down, you know, in a Jamaica, you know, to hold you down, you know, to rob our identity and call it Jamaican and not African, you know, see, a few crosses, you know, see, trial and crosses in a way, but the man said the heart of the backer, the sweet of the victory, you know, so I must press along, you know, and press along, you know, in Jah own way, you know. Man, the persecution we must fear, you know. So here we are, you know, here in persecution, you know. from these tyrants of the world who enslave us, and not sorry for them, If a man not sorry for him, he will continue to slave you. That's why the man who advance here in, which is commonwealth, colonialism and imperialism. See, they don't want to see us unite as a black family once more, So make we unite. Because we have to unite, But you know, we say, I want you back against the war, So make we see ourselves and unite from forward a black consciousness amongst ourselves and by these banners for the future, red, black, and green, and the red, gold, and green, black world independence banners, That is given unto us by our founding father of African consciousness, black unity, Marcus Messiah Garvey, that's black philosopher, almost high. Holy Manuel I, that's guy, yeah, that's Rastafari. So we give thanks greatly the three black world leaders, the Right Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and the Emperor of Ethiopia, and King Emmanuel Charles Edward here, our leader, popularly known in Jamaica as Bobo Dread, who stands, to the redemption of the black nation, The Congress is here, Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress is here in Jamaica, where we stand churchical, political, governmental, parliamental, and sabbatical, from 1950s, Man said the principle of this Congress stands for freedom, redemption, international repatriation, that will land every man and woman, and that is our own vine and victory, Man say Africa for the Africans, so that's woman out abroad, Europe, the Europeans, China, the Chinese, and India, the Indian, Jamaica, is the our India, So we give thanks, Marcus Garvey, you come and find us to Africa, Time born here just like anyone of us, as a black international leader, and he finds us to Africa, So we could relocate once more, return home to Africa, And all Commonwealth must come out of Africa, All UK flag and American flag, Australian flag, calling for our black sons and daughters, we get out these flags and these banners and signs from amongst us, pirate banners, when Congo come to enslave us, rob and rape a black continent and inhabitants, So we give thanks to our over here to strengthen one another in black supremacy, black consciousness, and the man just strength to strength, uphold each other in our black culture, black affair, and strength to strength to uphold the evil world, Charles and in government, colonialism and imperialism, my lord. So what is your take, country and the subject? You don't think that it is really pressure now to order? So all of these churches in the country is full of black people, Church of England and the whole of them and Catholic, And I'm going to say, charity when done and told. So what we must do now, what we're going to do, we the freedom fighter here in this country, we know what we are doing, So what where all of these people sign petition about and the church who will talk about reparation and prominent people, business people, lawyers, farmer politicians. Well, not because the king of Jamaica said now be a black country, no reparation. Then he didn't apologize to in this judgment, So I know that tell it too late to apologize, Earthquake, lightning, and thunder. Remember, it's written in the Bible, Egypt was glad when you departed, famine and pestilence, in the land, or by manpower, the black redemption, Africa must be free, Man, say not even British biggest battleship can stand stop the redemption, the black man redemption, The black man redemption, not even British biggest battleship can stand, Because the prophet tells if you look female all around, Marcus Messiah Garvey, prophet, your own prophet, The greatest prophet ever to born of a woman, Black Messiah, Most High, that's the guy. Rastafari. So make we turn to Garvey and Rastafari, philosophy and teaching, that we can see the man them push through and in them plan our own at this time. Foundation have been foundation. You know, see? So, the great stand in the foundation of black consciousness. That's all we need to do right now, you know. And if I give banners for the future, my honorable people, Jamaica government dominion now, you know, and Charles government, you know. So we don't make 3 card man or 2 card man, two political leaders. Them are 63 years, you know. 63 years in this judgment. You know? Them are rule. I have no as labor right and PMC. Because from 1952, then divide it and call it labor right and PMC as Jamaica. Because we were one people, blood brothers and sisters, you know, African people. Huh? Before 1960, you know. The 1962 was Charles mission. Not our black mission. You know, black liberation. Like we hear King Charles Prime Minister, when name alternative Prime Minister, Mark Woley. Instead of corrupt government, Mark him is a part of the government. I'm a the opposition leader, you know, alternative leader. You know. And he might tell us that a corrupt government cannot liberate the people. You know? And the top of the street is dirty, the whole street is dirty. You know? The top of the stream is dirty, the whole stream is dirty, and the top of the stream of Achard in charge of Third Britain, and we know where them go on with in the world, how them do a continent and its people. The other day I heard the folks say, I tell black people in America, or if you want to the Americans, so when them vote, them to vote with the letter evil out of the two. So all around, I just fear evil, you know. So make we turn to good and don't turn to evil while we fighting to Africa. Africa don't do nothing. And we keep on running away from ourselves through brainwash education and demonization of our black people on the continent. We keep on running away from ourselves. You know, we are wrong down the God of wrong. You know, we don't mean we no good. Eh? But we don't want to turn to the God of right. Turn is the light turn where we have to spend our long eternity. And in Jamaica, I want that. Eh? I want to return to a land with natural resources, a nation wealth kingdom, a black sovereign nation wealth kingdom. Eh? I would have to want to return to. You know? I want to stay down here and drop food, and you have food and drop water. And that's what and the labor force. We are working at Jamaica, we are working by the judgment. Eh? We are working at Jamaica. We are working to our black self. No one go to pay again. Eh? And the government control of everything. Stars and in colleagues, parliament control of everything. They control land, wildlife, everything here, the river, the sea, the very sun. They control. What we control as black people. Why we can't do it? We slave to this country and yet still no vote your government. You know, we are working out to cheap labor. And now pay a few much money to them to even get piece of land. You know, see, we must pay taxes. They have Rwanda, who are just twisted and corrupt government. Anyway, the Bible says a lot. Babylon the great has fallen, you know, and all the merchants of the earth, you know, yes, so she had the whole of them business community, institutional slavery in Jamaica. What talk about them want more productivity, earthquake, lightning and thunder in the church and the state of Jamaica, you know, and set God and his people free, you know. Set us free. Set us free. Because Jamaica is not our home. Prime Minister Andrew Gomez is telling us that also. In Jamaica is America backyard. You know? And we always support America. And this is a leader of a country with a black population. No perfect talk that. Perfect talk. So not to get conscious. Now we say, because our father tell us say, him not dead, you know? Black man not dead, you know? Or the black woman, we are all sleep, you know? So we are awake from our slumber and a road from our dream, you know? And the Messiah will support us in coming to it, my honorable people. You know, like we start. We spend strength and pride of a black unity, sovereignty amongst us. You know? Because no one no love us. We love everyone and no one no love us. Because we prove it over and over. We love all nations and no one no love us. Because then the love we don't do what they do, you know? They might just Satan, you know? Satan kingdom, you know? X kingdom, you know? So make we turn to the R field, the R world. King Emmanuel is telling Adonai God, yeah, that's the far. Give thanks, the praise the greatness, and wrap up a attention, my Lord, and my honorable listeners. Take care.
You too. Thank you for the call.
You're listening to Borough 106 FM. The time is now 4:13.
Are roads a major concern? What about those drains that are in need of repair or cleaning? Who's responsible for repairing my road and when will it be done? Join us this and every Tuesday morning at 8 during Morning Agenda as we travel on our roads with the National Works Agency and get answers to these and other concerns. You're welcome to visit their website at www.nwa.gov.jm. See the tender notices link for projects to be undertaken. You may also call them toll-free at 1-888-429-5NWA. That's 1-888-429-5692. Or follow them on Twitter at NWA_JA and Facebook at www.facebook.com/NWA Jamaica. The National Works Agency, developing safe, reliable, and quality roads.
Both sides of a story.
This is what I have.
Both sides of a story.
This is everything? Is this everything? Okay.
Both sides of a story.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. And at this time, we want to focus on a most precious item for all mankind. But it sometimes gets scarce or seems to be scarce. And we're talking about blood. And so we want to share, we want to take a look at the work of the National Blood Transfusion Service and its implications. The National Blood Transfusion Service is responsible for the collection, testing, processing, and dispatching of units island-wide to medical centers and hospitals in need. The focus is on voluntary donations, as globally they are considered the most safe, consistent, and adequate type of donations. There are now 11 collection centers spread across the island. And the main function of the collection centers is to assist with the collection of blood. And to tell us more, we're joined by a blood donor organizer with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Kishona Pinnock. Good afternoon, Kishona Pinnock. How are you?
Good afternoon, Dervan. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Thank you very much for joining us on both sides of the story.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure. So what can you tell us with respect to the main function of the collection centers of the Ministry of Health and Wellness?
The main purpose, of course, is for the collection of blood. We are in the business Dervan of saving lives.
Yes.
So we have in the island, also the mostly at our hospitals, blood collection centers where a person can come in and donate blood to save lives.
And what are the participating centers for this activity?
We have 11 collection centers island-wide, as you mentioned, or newly minted centers in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. But we're outfitted in Port Antonio, we're in Mandeville, St. Anne, Kingston, and St. Andrew. We have a center at the University Hospital, and we're also at Falmouth and Salomon.
And what's the level of interest and engagement by those who have to interact in that space?
The level of engagement is growing, we're proud to say, and of course it's because of forums like this where we get to share about the importance and necessity of blood donation. And so we have seen an increase, but as usual, we always want more persons to come on board. And this is why sometimes we have to go to the people instead of operating from the collection centers and opportunities to speak to that need and that initiative.
Care to give us a heads up on the upcoming blood drive?
Like we actually are in partnership Minister of Health have some dialogue with newly minted medical interns at the Kingston Public Hospital. And of course the experts are concerned about blood donation and low collection efforts. So we have set out to have 3 national blood drives, one in each county. We already had one in Kingston at the Emancipation Park. So this Wednesday, Dervan, we're going to be full Mandeville at Church Teachers College for our second blood drive. And this is in partnership with the Rotary Club of Mandeville and of course Sarah in association with KPH and of course
And for those who still don't get it, when it comes on to donating blood, why donate blood might be the question. What should we say to them?
Very good question, because you literally save lives each and every time you donate. One piece of blood donated by one person has the potential to save 3 lives or more. And we also need to add that we, of course, look outside to the recipient, that person that will get the gift of life, but also intrinsically the donor benefits from donating blood. So we always encourage persons, you never know when it might be your turn, a family member, friend, or loved one, and also donating blood, you're literally taking care of yourself by doing that process. You can every 3 months, every 6 months, but it's actually very good for you to donate blood.
And this, well, is there anything new about how the National Blood Transfusion Service has been operating?
Just for the fact that we're trying to make it a lot more convenient for our donors. So with the addition of the Spanish Town Collection Center, we've also modified our opening hours, our operating hours at some of our locations. also, as I mentioned before, come to your location to do blood drives. So I encourage persons, whether this be at school, church, public or private sector, if you feel so moved, we want to come to us, come in contact, so that we can do a blood collection drive with you. So it's just a matter of convenience, getting to our donors, spreading the word, increasing awareness every chance that we get.
Mm-hmm. And you went through the what is to come in terms of the blood drive. I'm just checking if I missed it.
Yes, you did, but we also want to add the third and final blood drive. This is going to take place in Saplamar, and this is in partnership with the Jamaica Red Cross Awesome Awesome MC. That's going to be for Friday, November 8th, and it takes place at the Independence Park in Hendon Circle, 57 So encouraging persons in that location come out and give us support. The life we save could be your very own. So feel encouraged and show up and support.
In the meantime, as usual, no doubt you'd like to continue to encourage those who have been giving blood to continue and those who are yet to help to bring them around to the impact that their decision, their choice has had and no doubt is having an impact. No question about that.
Indeed, Dervan. And we just wanted to share because persons might feel like they want to, they want to share how you can make yourself prepared for the topic. We
Mhm.
encourage you to get a good night's rest. We also want you to have something to eat if they want to 3 hours before coming to the blood drive. And of course, especially about hydration, we want you to be hydrated, and that's before and after the topic. And finally, bring government picture ID with you so that we can register you and take account of your information.
Can children give blood?
We are teenagers can we start at age 16, but they need written consent from a parent or guardian. But our 17-year-olds and above, they are free to donate blood once they have their ID. We start at 16 and we go up to age 60. Our regular donors can actually extend until age 65. So you know that's actually a large demographic of our nation.
What determines the frequency with as far as giving blood is concerned?
Donating blood, right? Each
Mm.
person can donate every 6 months. You can actually do it right regularly. Every 3 months, you can donate blood.
Mhm. And there are some myths perhaps that people have and they take those with them when they go to the health centers.
Right.
How do you deal with those?
We counteract again sensitizing. So we share on our social media. We have interviews. We let them know there are a couple just out there that need to be debunked. Persons think that they can't donate blood if they are diabetic or hypertensive.
Mhm.
But that's not the case at all. Even if you're on prescribed medication, you still can donate blood. Just encourage you to bring your medication or you know the name of it so you can speak to our doctor. But most of us are fine. Our diabetics, though, who have to take insulin, are not able to donate blood, but for the most part, the rest of us are okay. And another thing, Dervan, when we talk
Mhm.
about tattoos, you know, it's very trendy, tattoos and piercings. Persons believe that they can't donate at all once they have these. Not so. Once your tattoo or your piercing is 12 months or older, 1 year and older, you're free and able to donate blood.
Sounds like you've got it covered.
Yes, sir. And of course, you're no stranger to speaking about blood donation. Dervan, we always applaud you because you send our message out there and we appreciate you.
We're humbled by your comment. Thank you very much
Yes, sir.
and all the best. And we'll talk again soon.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
Fine as well. Thank you.
Anytime. This is both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. We were just about wrapping up our conversation with blood donor organizer Kishana Pinnock ahead of the most recent or the upcoming the upcoming blood drive. One of three? Okay, I got the numbers wrong, but one down, three to go. Okay. Well, all the best. Thank you so much for what you do. We appreciate you and your work. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Bye bye.
You're listening to Borough 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLaughlin. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLaughlin. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's take a couple of calls before we have to wrap. Let's go to this line. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello?
Dervan, am I on?
Is this Wilfred?
Dervan.
Yes, good afternoon.
Oh, yeah. I want to continue. I would say, in the USA, but like all the rest of these still, I'm going to take action. The African people themselves, them have them problem too, and it will come in here. They take a world for movement and organize funds, When they have the state coming to Richmond, them, especially superstar in America, they not invest in Africa or Jamaica, they all profit them, and sometimes they get punished, by senses, they get caught up. But I say, this Trump kept a great rally last night, at Madison Square Garden. Dan Jr. said that the sidewalk was 10 people wide, somewhat by Trump Towers coming down to Madison Square Garden, I closed an argument weekend and very important in America, Miss Harris and Mr. Trump, they're making the rounds, and they're saying it's statistically close. I don't feel so. Because you see the church and Miss Harris, what they feel like the Democrat Party gone too left, with the LGBTQ support, the drag queens, the trans competing against women, and those are the person Miss Harris aligned herself with. Like they don't like babies and them thing, and as black people, the Africans in Africa, just like in Jamaica, they're not for the LGBTQ. Some of them have death sentence, like all in Uganda, and so for people who are homosexual, which to we in the West, you're like too drastic, you know what I'm saying, given what's going on. But that's how Africa is, like the old time religion. You get what I'm saying, Dervan?
Yes.
A lot of them are not for a lot of the Democrats said we.
Because like they want to fly like the rainbow flag, what they call the rainbow flag, pride flag, and embassies in them countries that are not for those things, you know. And the black Democrat leaders in America, to me, sideways, because I'm in America and I travel the place. They're not representative of the common people, because most blacks are just like in Jamaica, just the same. To me, it's just an elitist thing that they practice, which is not really representative of the average and the normal black people in America. As we talk like this, you know, they say dyke and they say anything that just like we say at Jamaica. You get what I say? Them cast and cuss people just they said, you understand? If we talk like this, although they want to give us New Year, they say, yeah, in chat, but yeah. I told the Dervan, you go with a big mission, and I'm just our upper class, you know. If I'm a very but I get a chance to go talk like Miss Lou London in Canada, you know, they can't even get your visa. You get the message?
Yeah.
That's how the world set up, you know. And the issues in the government, the issues are very important. She did not tell a thing, and then they're like poor, ultimate thing with them keep, with the Catholic and the church people, them, and you know, anybody never attended, usually just lose big. And the betting red man, then we are bets. And Trump, we are here as a favorite. The man, then we are bet money for on the election. And so forth, you know. Because, you see, war, you know, Israel bomb Iran, and Iran now planning to bomb back Israel. And Israel might try to beat them to the Babylon, and so war gets big, you know. Because I try to copy, not tell them if it escalate, but Iran, you stay in America, participate in anything and give the go ahead. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's hard to start the war, you know, the nature of how things are going. The guy is so serious, living in a perilous time. Time is so serious, dangerous and cantankerous. It is good thing, you know. As that, it's only in the Father that we can put our trust. One love, you know.
All right. Thanks for the call. Take care. This is both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we're now joined by Steve McDonald in Toronto, Canada. Hi, good afternoon.
Correct one, something that your last caller said that Miss Harris is not in favor of children, which is not true. You know, and the other things that he was saying, it's unfortunate where we are right now, because right now I think Christians or so-called Christians would endorse Satan if Satan come out and preach against things like LGBTQ and all of those things. Remember one day not I was saying that one day not so long ago, we were the people who were classified, we blacks were the people who were classified in a similar category to LGBTQ people. So let us not pretend, or let us not forget where we're coming from. The very same United States that he's talking about. I mean, and to me, if you don't like the LGBTQ thing there, which is there, leave there. Leave and go wherever you figure that it's welcome. Like, you can't be sitting in somebody's house and then cursing the same people at the same time while you're sitting at their dinner table. Come on, man. It was the United States who said that black was what, 1/4 of a person. Look how Trump and his people classified Puerto Ricans. It to me is as if Christians will endorse Satan just because they speak out against certain people. Like, really? Anyway, Dervan, you couldn't talk up for me with your I thought you and I were friends. You couldn't talk up for me with your other caller. What's his name?
Who's that?
that wants to everybody to go back to wherever they come from. I mean,
Russ Lloyd.
Africans, you Dervan, yeah, you can go to Africa. You are a Rastlan to go Africa. But for me are not Indian, me are not Chinese, me are not Arawak Indian. I want me to go there, man. This I'm gonna never go for Linux because I get the water boot them, never get some water boot from cartel. But when they come for me, Dervan, you couldn't talk for me, man. Eh? I thought we were friends. Not because Michelle gets so much more caliber and all of that, man. I mean, talk up with me sometime now. Because I have nowhere to go. I won't have anywhere to go either, but
Seek and you shall find.
All right. You're almost out of time, but I'll allow someone else to have a couple of minutes. All the best.
All right. Thanks for the
Thank
call.
you.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. As we continue to take your calls and your messages, this one says, please confirm. Where is this one now? Digital. Oh, okay. Well, that's for another day. Cuban in Georgia says, well, I don't even want to see that. Let me see. Quite a lot was said a while ago, or was, let me see, where is it? All right, so here now, this person says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. The WHO and the UN is of no help to the poor. Okay. All right, I think I read that one already. Sir Malcolm, if the Exchequer says she doesn't have our reparations, we should boot out the Governor General out of Jamaica. He's carrying news to the king. Abolish the monarchy and have nothing to do with the country forever. Sir Malcolm, can the citizens of Jamaica hail the king before the court to answer to charges of criminal chattel slavery? We have to take legal actions against the crown and the King of England for the rape, murder, lynching, and abuse of the black African slaves. Another one, I'm sure we have credible lawyers who can present evidence against the king and crown for what they have done over 500 years of free labor under some excruciating circumstances. Sir Malcolm, we have to ramp up the pressure on the King of England. We're not asking him, we're demanding that they pay for the atrocities. Or did you mean for them to pay for the atrocities and abuse, murder and rape of Africans? The time for apologies have long gone. Only cash, no checks. The Governor General has to stop carrying Jamaican people business to the monarch. Sir Malcolm, is the Governor General a spy for the king? Really? We have a puppet government in Jamaica and a Governor General who is carrying news to the monarch. This is being repeated. Why is that so? Let's change to the other set of messages. This one says, I was about to agree with the RAS, except where his information about Christians suggests that he needs to read chapter 1 each of John, Colossians, and Hebrews in the Bible. And it goes on. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. for today, the 28th, Monday, the 28th of October, 2024. All things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 5 o'clock. News, confidence, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.